everyone. Welcome to Leonis Legacies here at the Leonis Adobe Museum. Leonis Legacies. I think that definitely qualifies for a tongue twister. My name is Dina Rivera-Pitt, the museum's historian and curator. Today, we're going to be talking about Espiritu, the lady of this historic house and the wife of Miguel Leonis. She was a Spanish-speaking Native American, married to a European. Now, that may not seem noteworthy today, but let me remind you that it was absolutely newsworthy and unusual for 19th century America. Espiritu was born in 1836 and baptized at Mission San Fernando. Her father, Odon, was Chumash, and her mother, Juana Eusebia, was Tongva. Espiritu's father, Odon, was one of the three original Native American land grant recipients of Rancho El Escorpion. That is prime real estate in the San Fernando Valley today. Basically West Hills and parts of Woodland Hills. Now, it's interesting to note that land grants were rarely, if ever, awarded to Native Americans. So this ownership is absolutely remarkable. Prior to meeting Miguel, Espiritu was married to a man named Jose Antonio Menendez, with whom she had a son, Juan. By the time she met Miguel in 1859, Jose Antonio was out of the picture. A year later, in 1860, Espiritu gave birth to Miguel's daughter, Marcelina. Miguel was eventually able to acquire all of Rancho El Escorpion from Odon and the other owners. That acquisition was the start of his legendary career as a real estate magnate. Espiritu lived with Miguel Leonis as his common-law wife for almost 30 years, until his death in 1889. Unfortunately for Espiritu, Miguel left the bulk of his $300,000 estate, about $8 million today, to his siblings in France. He left Espiritu $10,000, half in investments and half in cash, which was to be distributed over time and handled by an executor. In addition, he added the stipulation that she would only receive the inheritance if she did not contest the will. What do you think she did? She took the highly unusual step of challenging the estate. Despite the stipulation, she stood to lose everything. Remember, not only was she a female, she was a Spanish-speaking Native American. Indians, the American term used to identify all Native American people during the period, had no legal rights. Zero. So this legal undertaking by Espiritu was monumental. After a 16-year-long protracted legal battle and an array of attorneys, many of whom probably took advantage of Espiritu's lack of business and legal acumen, she won her case in 1905. Sadly, she passed away a mere 7 months after her pioneering court victory. Although the majority of Miguel Leonis' cash and property had been lost to legal fees, Espiritu was able to comfortably remain in this Adobe home and own parcels of land for the remainder of her life. As a Native American woman, her legal victory was absolutely groundbreaking for the time. It speaks to her fortitude. Now I'd like to share a couple of photos of Espiritu with you. This is a photo of Espiritu as a young woman. It's undated. This is clearly not what you would expect a native Chumash American to look like. Here she's proudly and finely dressed in Victorian clothing, beautiful jewelry, even has a bow in her hair. This is totally in keeping with being the wife of a wealthy landowner. Next, I'm going to show you a beautiful photograph of Espiritu. The photograph is arresting. She's 69 years old, seated in a leather chair in an office, wearing all black Victorian mourning attire, something that would have been expected from a widow during the period. Look at the photograph. The dichotomy between a dark-skinned Chumash-Tongva Native American wearing an all-black Victorian dress and hat is incredibly moving. Hanging above the fireplace is a photograph of Espiritu and her two children, Juan and Marcelina. We will definitely be talking about them in future episodes. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about Espiritu today. Her story is as extraordinary as her husband's. We invite you to join us for future episodes of Leonis Legacies. As always, please check Leonis Adobe's social media for future episode dates and announcements. In the meantime, let's please all stay safe and stay connected.